What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Drew Report. This is actually take 2 of the Drew Report because I got through the entire thing basically, and my mother came upstairs to ask me if she could borrow spaghetti sauce and ruin the Drew Report. Very unprofessional, but I had to scold her about it. So I'll get right into the games. Stud of the week this week, Eric Plunkett, Ashley's All-Pros, beating me and beating me bad, 137.5 to 75.5. Damn it, doubling my score. I just don't like it. Ray Rice, 28 points. Calvin Johnson, 18.5. Mario Manningham, 12. 24 points from Cincy's D. Cincinnati, defensive touchdown. Let up 4 points, 4 sacks, an interception, a fumble recovery, and a punt return for a touchdown. That's probably the craziest defensive game I've ever heard. Beating the crap out of me. I did nothing. I had Fred Jackson getting 19 points because Fred Jackson is the only good player I have anymore because I've made dumb trades that didn't work out and my teams had bad bye weeks and all that. I've lost 3 in a row. But not to take away from EP's great week, he did very, very well. I'm also not getting defensive points like a lot of other players are. I had Pittsburgh's defense, and you'd think that they would have done a little bit more considering New England didn't do anything offensively, but they didn't get any defensive touchdowns, anything like that. So that's that. Congratulations, EP. Did you leave anything on your bench? No, you did not. Not at all. I did. I didn't start Antonio Brown. I might try him out again, even though he was playing the worst defense in the league. So next up, Lizard Kings beating Andrew L. Champion 115 to 82. Andrew, can you please start changing your lineup? You started 2 people that were on buys. I mean, come on. Steven Jackson had a good game for you, 31 points, but I mean, come on, ridiculous. For Dave, Eli Manning had a good game, 26 points. He's been doing pretty well. He's going to have a big week because he's facing the Patriots this week. Awful defense. AP, 28 points. Maurice Jones-Drew, all right, 13 points. Let's see, Tennessee's defense, 19 points. All about the defenses this year. Let's see here. Anybody leave anything on the bench? Nah, not really. Not really. See here, kick on the dick of the week. Jigga beating Chris 98 to 92. Chris thought he had this game wrapped up, but Michael Vick had 28 points. Really big game for Vick. Che also had Frank Gore 19, Maurice, wait, is that his name? Maurice Morris, 12.5, AJ Green 12, so good game by Jay. Chris, Cam Newton 31 points, but starting Mark Ingram, he wasn't playing. You knew he wasn't playing, brother. You should have picked somebody else up. And Victor Cruz 15.9. So good game by Jay. Chris lost a squeaker and he really needed that win. He would have been 4-4. Jay would have been 3-5. Very integral game. Might come back to bite Chris in the end. Next up, La Flama Blanca. Dave McNeil beating Tommy Mills badly, 104 to 71. Tommy getting his first loss of the year. Davey, all I have to say is Detroit's defense, 29 points. Now I must be reading this wrong. Allowed 10 points, 2 defensive touchdowns. 2 defensive touchdowns, 7 sacks, an interception, and 2 fumble recoveries. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard of a defense doing. In the same game, so this week we had one defense getting 25 from Cincinnati, Detroit's defense getting 29 points, and then Buffalo's defense that Tommy had 10 sacks. 10 sacks for Buffalo's defense, 2 interceptions, and a blocked field goal. This is a crazy week for defenses. But congratulations, McNeil. Very, very good game. Let's see here. Next up is Fuji Donkey Punch beating 2 in the Pink, 1 in the Stink. Closest game of the week, 77-75. Neither of these guys did anything. It was a matter of 1.3 points. Tom Brady had 19 points. That looked like the biggest player for both people. Really hurt Mike that Isaac Redman only had 1 point. neither of these guys really left anything on their bench. Mike could have won if he had started Aaron Hernandez instead of Jason Witten, and that really looks like it's it. Fuji made the good decision to start Rob Gronkowski again versus Mercedes Lewis. So yeah, congratulations to Fuji pulling off a very close one. Was very, very integral too, because Mike would have been 4-4 if he had pulled this off, and Fuji would have been 5-3, moving him a lot closer in the single people's division. So that was another big game. Very, very integral week this week. Next up is the stud of the week. Danielle beating Kevin 83-70. Surprised Danielle didn't start Big Ben this week going against that lousy New England defense. I think she just doesn't like to bet against New England, but you know, it didn't hurt her this week. Can hurt in other weeks. LaShawn McCoy, 32 points, just had a monster week. That was really the biggest thing here was LaShawn McCoy. That's really going to keep Danielle in every game, no matter what. So with that, I'd like to get to the mailbag here. I have a few questions on the mailbag. Who is bothering me now? Let's see. Dave Bowman asking me to approve a trade for him. He asked me to approve a trade and doesn't give me anything for the mailbag. So no, David, I'm not approving a trade right now. I have stuff to do. Let's see here. Mike Sims. On location here. Let's see. On location here, Commission Miami. Taking a respite from my team's recent free fall in the loss column. The injury bug has bit my team hard, starting with Andre Johnson and just continuing. Even my bench guys aren't healthy. So many injuries and no trade bait. Where does the manager turn to keep competitive? The manager turns to the waiver wire, actually, Mike. It's just what you have to do. Everybody's all over it. So now that you're a little bit lower in the loss column and you have a higher waiver priority, you got to jump on these things because everything's changing from week to week. People are getting injured. It's that people weren't training well in the offseason, so injuries have been huge. But that also gives opportunities to pick up people off the waiver wire. And tired with the no trade bait because everybody's afraid to make trades right now and mess up what they do have going. So good luck to you. You know a lot about football, so just keep getting in there and make sure you get on that waiver wire. Let's see. Jay. Which GM do you think has done the best job so far between waiver wire trades and lineup changes? Is it the N-words? Yeah, you know what? It might be, Jay. You're doing pretty well. You changed your whole team. You know, you've obviously changed it for the better. You're doing pretty well. Not one of the very top teams in the league, but right up there. I mean, tied for the lead in the married persons division. You're certainly doing enough. Let's take a look at what you have going here. I mean, you got Michael Vick. That's been really big for you. Is having Vick. Frank Gore's doing really well. AJ Green's doing really well. You got Matt Forte. Tim Tebow doesn't look like it's going to work out for you. But you got Greg Olson. You're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well. Not every trade's been good, but I think between the waiver wire and you being really active on it and making the trades, you've made your team a lot better. So yeah, absolutely. I think Dave Bowman's got to be talked about in that same sentence. Not myself at all. Every trade I've made has made my team worse, and it's been clear. So I really shouldn't be trading anymore. Maybe I need to start trading more again to try to get it back up there. But no, yeah, Jay, you've been doing really well with the trades. So let's see, who else do I have here? Danielle. Let's see. Oh, actually, Jay, I think you had a second question. Also, do you think that the N-words have a good shot to hand the Pickle Smokers their second straight loss this week? Well, Jay, I have to look at that. So I am going to take a look here at that scoreboard. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers is back this week, so it's going to be pretty difficult to beat Tommy, I'll tell you that. But right now in the preview, it looks like you're well on your way. I don't think Tommy has adjusted it too much. Let's see. Yeah, Tommy hasn't put Aaron Rodgers back on this yet, so the projected points aren't there. But yeah, he has Aaron Rodgers going Darren McFadden going. Let's see how your buys look, Jay. Oh, let's see. Jay doesn't look like he has any buys this week for his key guys, so I think he has a pretty good chance. Yeah, Jay, I think you have a pretty good chance of winning this week. I think it would be big for everybody for you to beat Tommy, even though I want to see you lose because you're in my division. So with that, let's go to the last mailbag question for Danielle. Danielle wants to know how good LaShawn McCoy's been this year. He's been unbelievable. He's one of the top guys in the league, Danielle, I'll tell you that. And she said, are you impressed with how competitive this year even this late in fantasy is still wide open? And I think what she's trying to say is that things are so competitive even this late in the season where usually the best teams have kind of taken over. And yeah, absolutely. Everybody's been complaining about, oh, it's harder this year because there's 12 teams. It's harder this year because we have an extra running back spot. There's not as many good players. Well, yeah, but that's people have had to start mediocre players. And I think that it takes a lot more skill, and I think people are showing that, and there's a lot more participation. I think it's more fun this year, as opposed to everybody just having Pro Bowl caliber rosters and just playing that way. I think it's been a lot more challenging. There's been a lot more trading because of that side of it. So yes, Danielle, I think it's been fantastic, and very, very impressed with it. Looking forward to more competitive years to come. So that's it, everybody. Good luck to the Pats this week against the Giants. Hopefully get some 2007 Super Bowl revenge, and I'll see you next week on the Drew Report.